Hi, welcome to Enzuigiri. My name is Maximus, and these are my fellow panelists. We got Uno and Maverick over here. Basically, Enzuigiri is a web show we're starting. This is our first broadcast. What we do, we take a famous tag team stable wrestler from the past, pit him against someone from the wrestling world today, and we think about who wins. Dave?
Okay, for today's match, we have Money Inc. and Beer Money Incorporated. For Money Inc., we have the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and Erwin R. Shyster IRS. They're at a combined weight of 498 pounds. They were a tag team from February 7, 1992 to August 30th, 1993. They were three-time World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions. Known rivalries include the Natural Disasters, the Megamaniacs, and the Steiner Brothers. For Beer Money Inc., we have Bobby Roode and Cowboy James Storm. They are at a combined weight of 470 pounds. They were a tag team from June 12, 2008 to November 3rd, 2011, so a little longer than Money Incorporated. And they were four-time TNA World Tag Team Champions. Their known rivalries include the Motor City Machine Guns, Team 3D, and the British Invasion.
Well, I'm Maverick. I'll be defending Money Inc., as you know. As you just said here, El Uno just stated with the tail of the tape. Anyway, I think that Money Inc. is going to beat the pants off of Beer Money because Money Inc. is bigger, stronger, faster. I mean, they just all around, they got a better cohesive unit. Yeah, they were only together for a little over a year, but you know what? They got a lot more done in that 1 year than these guys did in their, 3 years they had over there? So, you know, I'm thinking definitely going to be a lot better. And there are other major factors to include in all that, too. Maximus?
Okay, well, I think that Beer Money will beat the beer out of Money Inc. We got Canadian and we got a redneck. And who loves to drink beer more than Canadians or rednecks? I think Beer Money would beat the snot out of Money Inc. 1, they're younger. 2, they're fitter. 3, they're faster. Yeah, Ted DiBiase and IRS have a bit of a power game, but Bobby Roode and Cowboy James Storm are faster. Bobby Roode can quick draw, or not Bobby Roode. Cowboy James Storm can quick draw on that kick faster than you can say ouch. They have the longest record tag team title reign in TNA history with 412 days, beating the previous record of 148 days by AJ Styles and Tomko. So I think they'll win.
Okay.
Well, there are a lot of factors to consider when looking at a match type like this. For example, the incarnation of Beer Money that Money Inc. would be facing, would they be the heels or the tag team version?
Yes, of
variants,
course.
rather.
There's only one scenario I can see this happening if theoretically this were to ever happen. Money Incorporated, they were heels there the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Beer Money Inc., they played on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way I could probably see this happening, and any writer would possibly do this, would be if Money Incorporated faced the face version of Beer Money Incorporated.
Not necessarily El Uno, and I'll tell you, there have been many instances in the past when heel teams have fought heel teams. For instance, LOD fought
Money Inc.
Money Inc. Not only that, back in the original ECW days, before Vince destroyed it, you had the Gangstas and the Public Enemy, which were two heel tag teams at the time. They had a bit of a feud and a rivalry. So, honestly, I think which team they're facing could definitely play a significant role in how the match turns out. But
would you believe there'd be a significant difference?
A significant difference, yes. I think the heel version of Beer Money would be a lot more inclined to win, judging by their tendencies to spit beer in the face of their opponents, as well as bash beer bottles over their heads.
So you're saying Beer Money Incorporated would have the upper hand against the face version of Beer Money. I mean, Money Inc.
Money Inc. would definitely have an upper hand against the face version of Beer Money, but that's not to say that they won't beat them. I mean, there's been times where tag teams, people stack the deck. You can stack the deck all you want. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to win. Chances are they might, but that's not always the case. I mean, even Bobby Roode and Cowboy James Storms were big fans of beating people over the heads with the tag team gold too. So I mean,
Money Inc. did that on several occasions, but their favorite tactic was using IRS's metal briefcase to knock their opponents unconscious, usually while Jimmy Hart distracted the referee.
So Beer Money Incorporated's more method seems a little more seems to be more knocking out your opponent. Well, their better method were like is to mostly damn it.
Hey, Money Inc. lived by the philosophy, he who fights and runs away lives to fight another day.
No, but think about it.
They
think
won a
about
lot
it.
of matches that way.
Think about it.
Well,
Beer
technically
Money,
lost, but kept
Money
the titles.
Inc. Money Inc. They were not fighting champions. I'm sorry to say that, but they were not. Beer Money, for instance. Beer Money, their last ever title reign, they retained the titles twice over a tag team known as Mexican America, which absolutely sucks. They retained their tag team titles twice. Eric Bischoff put them in one more match with Mexican America, and did they turn around and walk out of the arena? No, they stuck and fight. Yeah, they lost the titles, but they stuck it out and they fought the entire way.
Which might give them the upper hand, but I will point out, you talk about Beer Money Inc. being faster and younger and so on and so forth. I will point out that the very first tag team that Money Incorporated faced to get the tag team championships was none other than the legendary Hog and Animal, the Legion of Doom, LOD. And we all know that LOD was knockdown, drag out brawlers, and they were quick. We're talking grease lightning quick, so don't tell me that speed's going to be a factor because Money Inc. beat LOD.
Yeah, but
And that says a lot about a team that can defeat LOD because those two were powerhouses.
Beer Money beat Team 3D and took the tag titles from 3D, and I've seen 3D in some intense matches. I've even seen Brother Ray get hit in the head with a kitchen sink and stand back up.
Speaking of rivalries, well, Beer Money Inc. They've had some great rivalries. They come from a time in TNA where they actually had some decent tag team wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout their time as a team, they would battle pretty much more or less the same guys over and over again.
Think about it.
So would you think they would be prepared to face a different team like Money Incorporated?
I do. I think they would be way better prepared because I mean, look at the three notable rivalries that we have here on the table tonight by Money Inc. We got the Natural Disasters, Megamaniacs, and the Steiner Brothers. Yeah, if you think about it, really, all three of those teams focused more on the power game than anything else.
Oh no!
Now listen. No, wait, let me even point across. If you think about it, Beer Money Inc. They faced several different tag teams. They faced the Motor City Machine Guns. These guys are small dudes. These guys are high flying, high octane. They're like ninjas. You can't see them half the time. They fought the British Invasion. British Invasion were pretty much pub brawlers the entire time. They fought Team 3D. Team 3D, one of the, I will say, maybe not the best, but the most decorated and most hardcore tag team in wrestling today.
Maybe, but I'd still say there's a tag team that's much better than Team 3D, but that's for another show. Look at the diversity of the contenders that Money Inc. has faced. You've got the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott Steiner. Rick Steiner was clearly the technique behind the match, where Scott was obviously the power.
Scott Steiner's nothing without the roids.
And they went beautifully together. And now Scott Steiner did have some technique up his sleeve, but let's face it, he was the powerhouse. He was the guy
The only
that would go out there
technical
and get
move
it
Scott
done.
Steiner ever used was the Frankensteiner.
The Megamaniacs, also primarily, yes, a powerhouse team, but Bruce the Barber Beefcake was known for his technique. He did have great technical skills.
Yeah, I know.
And, of course, the flat-out brawlers, apart from LOD, that Money Inc. has faced is the Natural Disasters, as they relied on their mass to win a lot of their matches. I mean, who's going to move something that weighs 300 and some odd pounds sitting in the ring? The Natural Disasters had a combined weight of easily 850 pounds.
Well, I know, and that's valid. That's a very valid point. But my point is, yes, the Natural Disasters were flat-out brawlers. Yes, the Megamaniacs had some technical skill. So did the Steiner brothers. But think about it, all those tag teams pretty much looked the same. Motor City Machine Guns were small. Beer Money's knocked off big guys. Beer Money's knocked off little guys. They fought every kind of tag team that's out there. They fought high flyers. They fought brawlers. They fought hardcore tag teams. They fought technical tag teams. Bobby Roode actually put Ric Flair out of business for 2 months with a shoulder injury from a Jujikatami armbar. How many people can say they put Ric Flair out of business for a couple months?
Well, not many, but
even though he's an old greasy bastard.
we're also looking at two different eras here, because I'm looking at back in the old WWF days, the good old days, and that's back when wrestlers were huge and they were big and muscular and just.
And there was no limits on
roids. They looked like they could pop your head with an arm. I mean, it was nothing. It was like, wow, they just do it, you know. But and then nowadays, yeah, you got the little guys, the high flyers, the technical wrestlers. You know, none will ever be a greater technical wrestler, in my opinion, than Bret the Hitman Hart. But again, that's another show. I just think that Money Inc. has the size advantage and they've got the cohesiveness together. They work much better as a team together. Now, if it's the heel version of Money Inc., that'll be a heck of a lot better match.
Beer Money Inc.
Beer Money Inc. That's going to be a heck of a lot better match. I think the tactics are going to be a lot better for that one. Both teams are not afraid to employ underhand tactics, distracting the referee. Of course, Beer Money's manager, Jacqueline, wasn't afraid to get up in his face, literally.
Yes, they both can. Okay, yeah. Just to point out, they both had a manager at one point. Money Incorporated, of course, Jimmy Hart, and Beer Money Inc., the Pride of Tennessee, as they called her,
Miss Jackie Moore. And I will say honestly, no disrespect to Jimmy Hart or Paul Ellering or any of the other male managers, but I think that females are way, way, way more effective as managers. Just think about all the managers from the past. You got Sable, Jackie Moore, Sunny. Women have a lot more to bring to the manager game than men do. And that's not just stemming from the fact that most of them are plastic and they're all beautiful and they're very good at distracting the referee. But these women can go too. I've actually seen Jackie Moore put out with a couple of guys and she beats them up. Granted, no disrespect to Jimmy Hart. He was a great manager in his time, but his time has passed. And that was back in the time of gorgeous Paul Ellering and all the male managers.
It was precious Paul Ellering.
Precious Paul Ellering, whatever. Paul Ellering, regardless. But anyways, so I think the managers, both managers bring something really interesting to the table because you got Jimmy Hart with his damn megaphone, beating the crap out of everybody with it. But you got Jackie Moore with her huge assets, always distracting the referee. Honestly, what it really comes down to, I think, would be the fact that the Pride of Tennessee has a lot more to offer the ref than Jimmy Hart does.
If the referee went for such things, but they
all do, buddy.
I will point out that it wasn't Jimmy Hart who would use the megaphone as a weapon. More often than not, he would distract the referee whilst the megaphone was thrown in by one of the other members of the tag team, used by the member who was the legal man in the ring.
But who brought the megaphone down to the ring?
Well, Jimmy Hart did. It was
then they would have no megaphone if they didn't have Jimmy Hart.
Well,
so Jimmy Hart uses the megaphone.
There was a point when he had the construction helmet, I believe it was, or the biker helmet that he was using.
I guess. Valid point. I also think, honestly, Money Inc., in my opinion, functioned a lot better as singles wrestlers than they did as a team. Look at how many tag team or singles championships they have. Look at Bobby Roode and Cowboy James Storm have both been world heavyweight champions. Granted, not for very long, but regardless, they both have. Bobby Roode and Cowboy James Storm have the longest recorded tag team title reign in history, topping AJ Styles and Tyson Tomko from 148 days to 212 days. That's almost an entire year.
That's right. And most of Beer Money's, most of Money Incorporated's title reigns didn't last very long.
No, they didn't. But
you can your ability to win the gold can be one thing, but can you really hold on to the gold for a long time without walking away from the ring or without getting yourself intentionally disqualified?
I would argue that Money Inc. came from a different time frame, as I pointed out earlier, than Beer Money Inc. did, because back in the days when Money Inc. was wrestling, it was more of a catch as catch can style. The sport was more pure back then, so it was more based on skill and ability to win, versus Beer Money Inc. and the writers are telling them what to do and how to do it. The
writers told Money Inc. how to do and what to do it. Yes, they did.
No, it was more of a catch as catch can style back then. It was more two guys, or in this case, a couple of tag teams get in the ring and duke it out and make the best man win. There wasn't really any scripting. There was some scripting, but it really didn't take hold until later on.
Regardless, my point is, can you win the gold and hold on to it off pure technical skill and talent alone? Or do you have to resort to underhanded tactics like walking out of the arena, disqualifying yourself intentionally by attacking the referee, or allowing the referee to catch you doing something you're not supposed to be doing? You get my point?
Yeah.
Beer Money, granted, I think they have, I believe if I'm not mistaken, they've had 2 title reigns as heels and 2 as face. They are fighting champions. As I pointed out, Bobby Roode and James Storm went 3 matches against Mexican America, and they retained the first 2 times, but they still stuck around for the 3rd one. They stood there and they fought to the end. Granted, that was their last actual tag team title reign, as a few months later, Bobby Roode decked James Storm with his own beer bottle and effectively ended the team.
Yeah, well, That happens.
My point is, these guys can go. They can straight up brawl. They can straight up wrestle. They can straight up do both.
Okay.
Well, when left with no other choice, so can Money Inc.
Okay, guys.
There have been times when it was pointed out, when I don't think I pointed out yet, but I'm going to point it out now. WrestleMania 9, Money Inc. attempted to use the very tactic of walking out of the ring and getting counted out, as normally the rules state titles cannot change hands via countout or disqualification. In this particular instance, however, the referee overrode that rule and said that if Money Inc. continued to walk away and was counted out, they would in fact lose their titles.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's pretty much the same stipulation they put to Money Incorporated when they lost the tag team titles to Steiner Brothers.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
guys.
That time they actually lost, but at WrestleMania 9 they turned around and booked it back to the ring so as not to lose their belts, and they did fight it out.
Okay,
I think
guys.
they still
We're gonna
lost,
have to
but it
leave
was a
it
great
at
fight.
We're gonna have to leave it at that, guys.
So,
Because our time is up, and I think you guys made your cases very clear here.
For all you viewers, look it up. If you watch the video, leave us your thoughts on who you think will win. Would it be Beer Money or would it be Money Inc.? Leave us your thoughts. Let us know what you think, and we'll see what happens. So until then, we'll see you next time.
And if you like what you saw, hey, subscribe to the channel. We've got more episodes coming. We're
Yes, we
always
do.
open to new ideas. If you got any ideas, leave them on the comments. We'll check it out.
Leave them on the comments. We'll check them out. We'll see what we can do.